While holding my mixed-race baby for the first time, my brother pointed his finger at me. "I wonder where the dad is," he said, laughing. He didn't know my husband had died 4 months ago. He also didn't know that my father-in-law was standing in the doorway right behind him. My brother had only learned I was pregnant 2 weeks ago, and he'd been bombarding me ever since. Not because he wanted to meet his nephew, but because he wanted to make fun of me again. It's why I cut him off originally. He's always been obsessed with laughing at my expense, pushing me into puddles when we were little, or announcing to the whole class when I got my period for the first time. This was no different. When I locked eyes with my father-in-law, an ex-Navy SEAL in that hallway, while my brother was busy laughing about the baby being another statistic, I gave him the signal. You see, what my brother didn't know was that I had planned for this. I'd spent my entire last week coordinating with my late husband's family, my friends, even my brother's own wife, getting everything set in place. So while he stood there, laughing so hard his tears were rolling down my face, trying to get close and pinch my cesarean scar, his literal destruction was happening 20 feet away from him. I let him take his pictures, make his Facebook posts, write his captions about me being irresponsible and naive, because I knew that everything he did was just him unknowingly digging himself into a deeper and deeper hole. That's when a nurse came in, but not to check on me, but because even she was in on it. While leaning over to adjust my medications, she whispered to me that the guillotine was here, and asked if this meant it was go time. I nodded, and she turned around to set off the chain reaction. "Excuse me, sir," she told my brother. "Why were you recording her?" I knew my brother had no filter and prided himself on being brutally honest. So as expected, he started going off. Because my sister here decided to go black and never go back. What was she expecting? For a black man to override his instincts and become father of the year? I'm recording her to immortalize her stupidity. I pretended to act shocked, knowing this had started off exactly as planned. "How could you say that? You'd speak differently if you knew him and knew why he wasn't here," I yelled back, dropping him a breadcrumb to see if maybe he'd catch on to what was happening. But nope. My brother was the kind who needed to stomp on you in every argument, attack every insecurity, regardless of who was watching or how he said it. And I used that to my advantage. "If I knew him personally, I'd probably laugh even harder," he responded. "You've always been stupid and gullible. It's how I convinced you your money was missing, and convinced Mom you were the one stealing her opioid patches when she had cancer." There was something so satisfying about seeing him literally carve out his own destruction. He was already doomed by this point, but I planted one more question because I wanted to go overkill. "Are you just saying all of this because I have a child now and you're insecure about being infertile?" That's when he exploded. "How dare you? I'm saying it because this baby is a disgrace. If I wanted to have kids, I would. My wife does as I say. Our parents do as I say. My whole life I've gotten what I wanted, and that's never going to stop." This was going more perfect than I ever imagined. So perfect I actually started laughing. Of course, my brother saw this and got angry. "What's so funny?" he yelled. I didn't respond, just looked behind at the literal destruction waiting for him as soon as he turned around. It was even more grandiose than I'd imagined. "What's so funny?" he yelled again. I looked behind him again, this time obviously, and gestured for him to look as well. He whipped his head around